In the last 15 years or so, many American cities have had difficulties in maintaining a successful retail environment. リテールは小売業か。小売です。はいはいはい。Okay. Business owners in the city centers or the downtown areas have experienced some financial losses because of the city movements of the people out of the city and their need to suburb. In general, downtown areas just don't have that many residential areas. Not that many people live there. So what did city planners decide to do about it? Well, one way they came up with some ways to attract more people to shop downtown was by creating pedestrian malls. Now, what is a pedestrian mall? It's a pretty simple concept really. It is essentially an outdoor shopping area designed just for people on foot. And well, unlike many of the shopping malls that are built in suburbs nowadays, these pedestrian malls are typically located in the downtown areas of the city, and their features like wide sidewalk, comfortable outdoor seating, and maybe even for tents, art. There are variations on this model, of course, but the common denominators are. でもいいな。Creating a shopping space that will get a variation on this model, of course, but people to shop in the city without needing their cars. So I'm sure you can see how heavy an area that are off limits to automobile traffic would be ideal for a heavy populated city where otherwise be is not an unpleasant traffic condition. Would be ideal. So I'm sure you can see how heavy an area that off limits to will be ideal. Now, the concept which originated in Europe was adopted by your American city planners in the late 1950s, and since then a number of United States cities have created the pedestrian malls, and many of them have been highly successful. So what does city planner learn about making this more succeed? Well, there are two critical factors to consider when creating the pedestrian mall's location and design, both of which are equally important. Now, let's start with location. In choosing a specific location for pedestrian mall, there are in fact two considerations: proximity to potential customers, that's where call its customer base, and accessibility to public transportation, which we'll get into just a moment. Now, for customer base, the most obvious example would be a large office building, since the employee could typically theoretically go shopping after work or during the lunch hour, right? Another really good example is a convention center, which typically has a hotel and a large meeting space to draw visitors to the city for major business conferences and events. But idea is that Pearson Mall will be used by local residents, not just people working in the city or visiting the area. So that's fair access to the public transportation coming. If the designer wanted to locate the mall in the central transportation hub, like bus terminal or major train subway station, or they work with city officials to create sufficient parking area not too far from the mall, which makes sense because people can drive into the mall area, or then they need easy access to it. Okay, so that's location. But what about design? Well, design doesn't necessarily include things like sculptures or decorative walkways or even eye-catching window displays. Art. Although I bet the first element. Those things are essential aesthetic appearing. However, visual pleasing sights, while they are not a part of pedestrian malls, rather than most. The key consideration is a compact and convenient layout, one which allows pedestrians to walk from one end of the mall to the other in just a few minutes, so they can get to major stores, restaurant, and as a central price without having to take more than one or two turns. Now, this takes a careful and creative planning. But now, what if an ingredient to this planning recipe is missing? There could quite be possible long-lasting effects, and I think a good example is Peterson Mall in the Louisville, Kentucky, for instance. Now, when the Louisville Mall was built, it has lots of visual appeal. It was attractively designed, right in the small part of downtown, and it pretty much possessed all the other design elements for success. But now, here's my point where location comes into play. There wasn't a convention center around to help joining visitors, or was the only nearby hotel eventually closed down for the same reason. Well, you can imagine how these malls affected local and pedestrian malls business owners. Sort of what was we called it a chain reaction. It wasn't until a convention center and the parking garage was built over the decades later that the mall started to be successful. Hmm.